to celebrating our food and telling stories of it. I am Sophie, your host and producer, and this is Our Food Stories, a podcast for us and by us. Episode 21. I am always fascinated by the variety of leafy greens that we have access to, most of which their English names are not even familiar to us. Today's story is about how women were not allowed to eat meat and dairy in the past, and how they found ways to prepare and eat various leafy greens. Special guest Bernadette shares a dish made out of a plant commonly known as cat's whiskers that is a delicacy in the Teso region. You will enjoy this one.
My name is Amuge Bernadette, an artisan from a village called Omiro, Toroma Sub-County in Katakwi district. I grew up from the city and was raised by a very tough, traditional mother. Being so traditional, she made sure growing up in the city did not make us forget our roots in terms of food and food preparations mostly. I'll be sharing with you one of our delicacies from Teso called Ekyadoi. Ekyadoi is one of the most enjoyed delicacies in Teso sub-region. Back in the days, the history says that women in Teso were not allowed to eat or drink anything from dairy. So milk, meat, beef, women were not allowed. Or even chicken. For example, culture warned that if a woman ate chicken or eggs, she would develop wounds on her back. It's believed that if they did, they wouldn't give birth. So these things were mostly eaten by men. So with this kind of mysteries surrounding food and the taboos, women mostly had vegetables as their food. It is so weird that even as they prepared this for the men, they were not even allowed to testing the amount of salt, and they were really not allowed to. So women always made vegetables for themselves. Ekyadoi is one of these vegetables. Present day, when the dairy started reducing and diseases started taking off the cattle, the men also learned how to eat the vegetables. Today, these vegetables are a delicacy in Teso for everyone, not just the women. So, Ekyadoi is a green leaf medicinal vegetable. Its scientific name is the Cleome gynandra, or the cat's whiskers in English. In Uganda, it is commonly known as ejobyo, and it is mostly used as medicine in Uganda. I'll begin with what we need for our specific preparation. We need the Ekyadoi. It is found in all markets in Uganda. We need gynandra paste, commonly known as OD or echipoli. We need sour milk. This is optional though. I'll be sharing with you the process of making this in another video. We need hot water at hand, salt to taste, and then we need the accompaniment for the Ekyadoi. In Teso, it is best eaten with millet. Our millet is a mixture of millet, sorghum, and cassava flour, and it is locally known as atap or akalo in Uganda. Others usually prefer maybe sweet potatoes or posho. And then the process. Chop the green vegetables into fine pieces.
Interrupting your listening for a little bit. Did you know that you can send in your food story? Yes, that's right. If listening to this podcast has inspired you to relive some of your favorite food memories, you can send those stories and be part of our food stories. Just send an email to akitcheninuganda@gmail.com to get more details. This call is for Ugandans for now, but if you enjoy these stories as much as we have enjoyed bringing them to you, you can leave a testimonial or a rating on your favorite listening platforms. Now back to the story.
After you have chopped them, wash them thoroughly clean using cold water to get rid of any soil that comes with it from the garden. You should have hot water boiling in a pot or a kettle. After you're done washing the vegetables, add the boiling water. Do not cover. Put it on fire and let it boil for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, carry the pot down and sieve out this water using a drainer. Sieve it out completely. The reason for sieving out this water, Ekyadoi is bitter in nature because of the hydrocyanic acid properties it contains. This bitterness is removed by first boiling the vegetable and sieving out the water. Usually, when you taste this water, it's bitter. This is where the medicinal property comes in. In Uganda, this water is taken as medicine. After this is done, another option. This option is usually used deep back in the village, in Katakwi. The Ekyadoi is boiled. This time the water is not sieved out, but rather left to dry out completely. Then sour milk is added and it is kept and left to ferment. This helps it to be kept even for about 2 weeks. So whenever someone wants to eat, they just scoop a little and add their gynandra paste. That is how it is done in the village. So after you have sieved out the first water, add a little more hot water. Put the vegetable back on fire and let it boil to readiness for about 45 to 1 hour. When it is ready, add salt and then put some sour milk, but this is optional. Not everyone takes this sour milk. Not everybody likes it. Drain out the excessive water. Get your gynandra paste, your chipoli, your odi. Mix it up with some little hot water and make a thick paste. After you're done making this thick paste, add it to the vegetable, a desired amount. The paste should not be too thick nor too light. Then add a little more salt to taste and then put it back to boil for 10 minutes, but this time under very little heat. After 10 minutes, your Ekyadoi is now ready and can be accompanied with either millet kalo or posho. You can serve it and it is ready to be eaten. Thank you. Looking forward to sharing more delicacies from Teso. Till next time, Amuge, Bernadette.
Thank you, Bernadette, for sharing this story and for the delicious recipe. Bernadette can be found on Facebook and Instagram, where she shares more about the food of the Teso region. Remember, if you have a delicious food story that is very dear to your heart and you would like to share it on this podcast, you can reach out to me via email at akitcheninuganda@gmail.com or on Instagram at akitcheninuganda. Don't forget to share the podcast with other listeners, to leave a review or a rating, and to comment on your favorite stories wherever you listen. See you in the next episode.